Okay. Hey, welcome to Vaping 101, Chris. Alright, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you from basically the backward to forward. Meaning I'm going to start, instead of starting with a brand new fresh vapor, we're going to start with obviously a used vapor, and I'm going to clean it in reverse so you'll see everything, and then it'll be all vapor ready to go. Alright, what you see down here is you got your basic cleaning stuff, Q-tips. There's a BBC coil that's right there. I'll show you that. That's inside here in a minute. This is what you need to buy. It's the Aspire BBC Nautilus replacement atomizer or replacement coils. I would get the 1.8 ohm. That's what this one down here is inside there. What I've got going on over here is this is actually your charger. This one has been sitting on the charger for a while, and this is so this one's good to go. You see the green light that indicates that the charger, or that the thing is already charged. The battery is already charged. I've already done. When you want to turn these on, you press it 5 times, or to turn it off, you press it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it'll flash, and now it's off, and it cannot be used. If you want to turn it back on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to this one right here and this one right here have already been pre-charged. Those are going up there with you. Here's a third one. This is a spinner too. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you real quick how the spinner battery works. Obviously press this button 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now it'll be working. When you put on a collar, you're going to need a collar to put on before you can put on the actual atomizer, which is right here, and that just spins right down inside of it as well. What you're going to do is there's these little holes on the bottom. You're going to make sure that you have one of the holes lined up. The smaller the hole, the tighter the hit. The wider the hole, the more air you'll be able to suck in. At the very bottom of these batteries, you're going to see it's got numbers, and you're going to see that the bottom actually spins around. There's a marking right there that indicates 4.3 volts. Now that's 3.8 and 3.3. It goes all the way up to I believe that's 4.8 volts right there. That's pretty high when you're starting to use this thing. When you can actually hear it. I don't know if you'll be able to hear that right there. So it's actually working. This one right here, what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to work in reverse order. So I'm going to take this one off, flip it upside down, and let it sit right there. I'm going to take the collar off. I'm going to give you 2 collars in case you have one. In case you're missing one, there's one. One's a little looser, but this one here is pretty thick. Now what you do is you just screw this in, and that light will turn red because it'll be charging, and that little light will go on. Now it'll just stay red like that until it fully charges. Then it'll turn green. Now what I've got over here. This is the other Aspire battery that I told you about. This one actually is brand new, and it operates the same way. There's the button right there. You just press it 3 times or 5 times, and it'll turn on. And at the bottom, it has its little spinning area where it shows you, like right there, that says 4.8 volts inside. So this battery right here though is brand new. I would use up those other ones over there first until they die on you. Unless you want to use the new Aspire battery, it actually goes with the Aspire Nautilus. It's actually made by the same company, so that'll actually work out pretty well for you whenever you decide to change over to it. This is the glass tube, the glass 5 milliliter container. That actually comes with the Aspire Nautilus, and you can see that it actually goes up to 5 milliliters on there. What this does is, what we're going to do is I'm going to leave this inside of here. I'm going to put the manual for the Aspire in there, along with that glass tube. and I'm going to end up boxing all this up and sending it up with you. Now, this is how you open up and clean your Nautilus, or I mean your Aspire. You're going to open this up. This is it is an Aspire Nautilus, is what it is. You're going to just spin this right off. Sometimes the coil, which is this right here, actually gets stuck inside there, which is not a big deal. Just unscrew it and it'll come right out. This particular coil right here has been inside this for a little while, so this is going to be a little bit dirty. You can simply rinse this off with water and then let it dry out. Don't try to tap too hard, but and then let it dry out, and it will actually be good to go again. Like I said, it hasn't been used very long, so that one's going to be really good. This, I would also open up a hole on the bottom. Make sure you get a hole opening. There's one. Let's see if we can get a bigger one. There we go. And then rinse this out with water. And you'll see the little hole right there shooting water out of it. You really want to get this thing cleaned off good. What you use for cleaning is rubbing alcohol and Q-tips. Just simply dip it in there. I bend the tip a little bit. That way I can get inside. I can get inside and spin around on the inside and actually get all that stuff on out of there. All that brown stuff on out of there. Now, what I do is I take this out. You gotta be very, very careful. That's your little head right there with the coil on the bottom. What I do is I drop that right into that little thing of alcohol there, and that will keep it nice and saturated with alcohol so that it cleans it. Now this is what it looks like on the bottom when you actually get down in there and dig this stuff out. You'll know when to clean it. You only really need to clean it probably like every 3 or 4 times that you fill it up, I would say. You don't really have to do it all the time, but it is good to actually try to clean this stuff up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to dump this out. This is the liquid that was in it. I don't know if this has got nicotine in it, so I can't really use it for anything because I'm on no nicotine now as of now. This right here definitely needs to be cleaned out on the inside. You can see there's a little bit of residual on the inside of there. And I'm going to clean that out with alcohol. As you can see on the tip of that, it starts coming right on out. And I'm also going to get down inside this tank and clean it all the way out with all that alcohol, because I know whatever juice is in there, I just don't want that to be the flavor of choice for you when you first start out. You'll need to go down and get, obviously go down and get your own stuff as far as your liquid. This liquid right here is from the Vaporatory. This is called MY4, and you can see the thing where it says thevaporatory.com. You can actually go online and order the stuff through them. This MY4 actually kind of tastes like a little bit of like caramel and vanilla and a little bit of a tobacco flavor. I actually like it. Nancy likes it. So, and you can order that right online. It's really cheap. That particular bottle costs about $30. And then behind me here I have another bottle. This is the Mac Daddy of bottles. This one right here, compared to the other one, that is a 250 milliliter bottle, and that one costs roughly $53. This is your normal bottles that you would get that are normally like right around $17.50. Those are, I think these are 30 milliliters. They're not very big at all. So that's the ones that's the size of the ones you got there. This right here, I just wanted to show you one thing about this. If you unscrew this, which I'm having a really hard time with my hand right here, but you can see on the inside this piece right here. If you unscrew this, you just grab a hold of it, take a pair of pliers, unscrew it. This will actually come apart. This will pull out with the centerpiece. And what you can do is you can then attach it to the top of the glass one and screw it in. And then that way you can take this bottom piece right here along with your coil and of course your little plunger there and screw it right into the bottom here, and you'll have the original the way it would look normally with the glass top. I highly recommend that you use this one because even though you won't be able to see how much is in there, and believe me, if this thing dries out and you actually take a hit when this thing dries out, you'll know it. It tastes horrible. So the best thing to do is to just check it every day and make sure that it's filled at the top. Just open it up, in the morning and check it out. Squirt some more in there. Make sure it's filled. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this back together. I'm going to clean a couple more things out here. The mouthpiece definitely needs to be cleaned out good. So that's got alcohol on it, and I'm cleaning that around there. And you can see there's a little bit of brown on the end of these things. So it's just the liquid. That's all it is. So you get that cleaned out. And of course it sterilizes it from my lips being all over it, because this was mine. I'm going to now take this piece, and we've got the coil, and this is all the pieces, all 5 pieces are right here. I'm going to get that little plunger out of there. I made a little mess there, no problem. But these 5 pieces right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those are your main pieces that you need to operate this piece of or to operate this vapor or this vaping device. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just try to get the black stuff off that. You can see it's still coming off a little bit on the paper towel. Trying to get as much of that off as I can. And then of course you want to make it so you got a clean contact with the battery, because this is what contacts the battery. So you want to make sure that's kind of clean so you can get a good, I'll scratch off my nail, get a good clean contact with the battery. Okay, what you do is you take this now and you put it right back into the hole where it came from. And this is a little more difficult with this cast hand, but now it's all plunged in, it's straight down now. Now you take the, this is your coil. You're going to take, this is a 1.8 ohm BBC coil. Actually, I'm sorry, this is a 1.6 ohm BBC coil. But it doesn't matter, 1.6 or 1.8, you're going to twist this thing right down in till it's nice and snug by hand. That's good. This one right here is a 1.8. I'm going to be sending this up there with you in the box so that you know exactly what you need to order online. We're going to pause for a second. The child needs to be cared for.
Tell Grandma I'll be right there.
Mommy, hey, Grandma,
Tell Grandma I'll be right in a minute. In a minute.
Okay. Okay. Are we back on?
Yes.
Okay. We're back again. Okay. Kind of an instantaneous gone there for a second because...
I left it running.
Oh, did you leave it running? Okay, my bad.
So Chris can see the,
see the things you have to go through. Mommy. Okay. So now I got... yeah, I got to rinse that up just a little bit. So now that I've got the coil put back inside, what I would do is I would take this, actually I wouldn't take, I don't think this is the one I would use. This is my wife's bottle. That's not the one I would use because I have no nicotine in mine. What you do is you take the bottle, and I will clean this out again before I ship it, Chris, but I just want to show you. You take it out and you squeeze right down inside there. I don't know if you can get a good look at that. With me squeezing it down inside. You can see the liquid down inside of there. Now, of course, you're going to use a whole lot more than this. You're gonna fill it up. But now, what you would do is you would take the bottom part and screw it right down into the centerpiece. And you don't have to make this super tight. Just you'll feel it kind of snug down. It's got that rubber ring around it on the inside, so it'll be pretty good. And then you Put the O there. Or you make sure you got a hole opening, because if you don't have any hole opening, you won't be able to suck very hard. All right, put the mouthpiece back on. And then what we're going to do is you're going to let it sit for approximately 2 minutes before actually putting it on. And what that's for is just to let the liquid that's in here saturate into the wick in the coil. It has to saturate long enough, because if it doesn't saturate, what will happen is you're gonna get a big burnt cotton taste is what you're gonna get in your mouth. So in order to avoid that, let it sit for at least 2 minutes. You can also take a couple of drops. This is another technique that we use in order to start vaping a little faster. Is what we do is we actually, here, let me show you real quick. We actually take the, oops, I'm gonna drop that liquid all over the place here. We take the actual liquid and put a couple drops inside there. It helps speed the process along a little bit of getting this done. So, of getting it saturated. So now that you've got this thing inside, take your collar, put it on the end of one of the batteries, spin it down, and take your, oops, make sure you got a hole. It doesn't matter if you do it now or later. And then you take this and you screw it right down into the centerpiece. Now, as you can see, that's a little dirty too. That battery is actually a little bit dirty. So what I can do is I can take that alcohol Q-tip and clean that out as well. And as you can see, there's some residual dirt on there, probably from not being done for a while. Okay, so now we spin this on there. Set it to the approximate, so you can't even see these ones anymore, but I still see 4.3, and that's the one that I used to use quite often. And this one's ready to go. You can probably hear it. There you go. And then you just simply well, not getting a vape right there on that one for some reason. Hang on a second. Actually sounds a little bit clogged with too much liquid. Well, what it'll do though, I will tell you this, that it's only got a 10-second button on here, so no matter how long you hold it, it's not going to allow you to go longer than 10 seconds. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of vape there. And a little bit more there. I'm not sure exactly why. I think I oversaturated the coil. Matter of fact, I know that's exactly what I did. Is I oversaturated the coil a little bit too much. I think I would have been better off just not putting any drops inside that thing and just let it sit there for 2 minutes, like I said. I know this isn't exactly the best how to do film, so I just want to make sure this is tightened down good. Also, if you remember, I did put this into water. I did soak this in the water just prior to it, so it can't go like that. It can't be go from water right to the thing. You got to let it dry out for a day, and I didn't do that, so that's why it's not really giving me a good vape at this point. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to burn out some of that water by simply pressing down on the button and letting it go. You can hear it, and you can definitely hear that thing cooking in there. And there it goes. After 10 seconds, it flashed like that. I'm gonna try it one more time. And that's more of a vapor right there. So the water's drying out away from there, and the liquid's actually getting down inside. Sometimes you're going to get a little bit of liquid coming up into here. Don't worry about it. It tastes a little funky, but just draw a little slower, or actually take this thing and move the circle down a little bit, make smaller holes. If you can make a smaller circle, that actually let me see here. Go over there. Nancy goes all the way down to the second smallest circle. Makes it a really tight draw. I actually like to go all the way out, so I have the largest hole opening, so I get the most air. And that gives me a better drag on it. But that is your basic 101 stuff. If you have any questions, you can give me a call or you can text me or whatever and ask me any questions you want. Like I said, you're going to have a brand new BBC coil here. The coil that's inside here, I am going to rinse it out. I'm going to re-rinse all of this stuff again and let everything dry out and clean out before I send it up to you. So none of this stuff is going to have any water in it or any actual liquid when you get there. Liquid is a personal preference. Like I said, we like the Vaporatory MY4. That's the stuff that both of us have actually enjoyed for the last at least year and a half. And what we're going to end up doing is probably, what you're probably going to end up doing is getting online, because there's not too many places that'll sell 250 milliliter bottles, but they will ship it to you, which is a good thing. And they're really good people too. So if they don't ship it to you and you want it, if you want a big bottle like that, just give me a call and we'll go from there. But all right, man, I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I'm going to clean this stuff up, and I'll make sure that it is all put back in its little package, so that when you get it, you can assemble everything yourself, and everything will be right inside this package here, and you can assemble everything yourself, and you'll be good to go. All right, brother. Peace out.